The night sky split open with fire. A streak of light burned across the heavens before vanishing beyond the trees. The deep rumble of impact shook the earth beneath Ryan's feet. He stood frozen in the darkness, gripping the straps of his backpack. This wasn't a meteor. His heart pounded as he sprinted toward the crash site, ignoring the sting of branches whipping against his arms. The thick forest swallowed him in shadows, but soon, he found the source of the disturbance, a smoldering wreck embedded deep in the earth. It wasn't just any wreck. It was a ship. Ryan hesitated only a moment before pushing forward, stepping over shattered metal and sparking wires. The design was sleek, otherworldly. This was something not human. A faint sound reached his ears, a soft, pained whimper. Ryan's breath hitched. He wasn't alone. Carefully, he moved toward the sound, stepping around a collapsed section of the hull. His pulse quickened when he saw her, a woman, slumped against the wreckage, her body trembling. She wasn't human. Glowing lines of violet pulsed along her arms and legs, vanishing beneath a torn, form-fitting suit. Her skin shimmered faintly under the moonlight, an ethereal mix of blue and silver. Her face was delicate, alien yet heartbreakingly beautiful, with high cheekbones and large, luminous eyes filled with raw desperation. Her lips parted. A voice, weak and breathless, reached him. "Help me!" Ryan swallowed hard. Every instinct screamed at him to run, to call someone, anyone. But those eyes, that voice, something about her pulled at him. He took a step closer. Then another. Until he was kneeling before her. She flinched when Ryan reached out, her breath hitching in fear. "I'm not going to hurt you," he said, keeping his voice gentle. "You're injured. Let me help." Her luminous eyes searched his face, filled with uncertainty. Finally, she gave a small nod. Ryan hesitated before carefully placing an arm under hers, helping her sit up. A soft gasp escaped her lips as pain rippled through her body. "Your name?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. She blinked, struggling to focus. "Tyani. Tyani," he repeated, the name rolling over his tongue like silk. "I'm Ryan." She let out a shaky breath, nodding weakly. "Ryan." A strange warmth stirred in his chest. Tyani's body was light, almost weightless in his arms, but he could feel the tremble in her muscles. She was weak. Too weak. "You need shelter," he murmured, glancing at the wreck. It was too exposed. If anyone else found her... No. He couldn't let that happen. "I'll take you somewhere safe," he promised. She didn't resist as he lifted her into his arms. She only pressed against him, her head resting against his shoulder, her breath feather-light against his neck. The warmth spread deeper. Tyani trusted him, and that meant more than he could understand. The abandoned cabin wasn't much, but it was safe. Ryan carefully set Tyani down on the old couch, watching as she shivered despite the blanket he'd wrapped around her. Her breathing was uneven. Her fingers clutched at the fabric of her torn suit. Something was wrong. "Tyani," he said softly. "What do you need?" Her eyes flickered open, glowing faintly. I shouldn't." "Shouldn't what?" She swallowed, her gaze darting away. "You'll be afraid." Ryan knelt beside her, his fingers brushing against her hand. She gasped at the touch, her whole body reacting. "I'm not afraid," he whispered. She stared at him, uncertainty warring with something deeper, something primal. Then, in a trembling voice, she admitted, "I need contact." Ryan frowned. "Contact?" Her cheeks darkened, a blush forming beneath the shimmer of her skin. "My kind. We weaken without it. Without closeness. Without touch." Ryan's breath caught. She was starving for warmth. For connection. Slowly, he reached up, brushing a strand of silver-blue hair from her face. She shivered but didn't pull away. "Then let me help." Her lips parted, her breath warm against his fingertips. "You do that? For me?" Something in her voice, something fragile, made his chest tighten. "I would," he whispered. Tyani trembled, then, with a soft, desperate sound, she leaned into him. and Ryan held her. The storm raged outside, rain pelting the windows, wind howling through the trees. But inside the cabin, there was only warmth. Tyanni lay curled against Ryan, her body pressed close, her breathing finally steady. He had never felt anything like this before, the way her presence filled the space around them, as if she belonged here. As if they belonged together. "Ryan," she murmured, her fingers tracing small patterns against his arm. "Yeah." She hesitated, then lifted her gaze to meet his. "No one can hear us out here. No one can stop this moment." Ryan swallowed, heart pounding. "Tyanni." Her hands slid up, resting against his chest. "Hold me closer," she whispered. "Make me yours." His breath hitched. This wasn't just about survival. It wasn't just about keeping her warm. She wanted him. Not because she had to. Not because she was desperate. But because she chose him. Slowly, carefully, Ryan cupped her face. Her eyes fluttered shut at his touch, her lips parting in silent invitation. Their foreheads pressed together, their breaths mingling. "You're safe with me," he murmured. Her hands tightened around him. "Then don't let go." And he didn't. Not that night. Not ever.